Good afternoon, everyone. Good to see everyone today.
Hello.
All right. Let me just double check because it looks like we're almost there on quorum. One, two, three, four. Actually, I think we're right there. Is that correct, Miss
Mrs.
Drew?
Taberkia, are you unmuted? Because I can't hear you.
Can you hear me okay, Miss Blackwell?
I can hear you.
I can't hear you. Let me try to get Miss McGee because I can't hear anything.
Okay. So
Oh,
Mr. Poole
Can
can
hear
hear
you.
me. Miss Holmes can hear me. Okay, okay.
I can hear you now.
Perfect, perfect. All right. Miss Drew, that's correct. We have four for our quorum. One, two, three, four. One second. Let me go ahead and get us set up here. I think we're waiting on Satu, who said he was going to be here. Yes, Miss Blackwell?
Are you in your room?
I am not.
Okay.
Okay, just send a quick message.
Testing.
You're coming through, Miss Blackwell.
Thank you.
No problem.
Mr. Taberkia, I also sent you and Miss Muhammad the wrong updated uniform survey results, and I just reshared that to you all via email.
Thank you so much. Okay, guys. Well, I'm not going to take up too much of our time. I believe we are at quorum, and we are live. So I'll go ahead and start with the presentation today. Thank you guys for your patience. Good afternoon. Welcome to Perkerson Elementary's Go Team meeting, where we will follow the agenda as it has been emailed to you and publicly noticed. I am pleased to call this meeting of the Perkerson Elementary School Go Team to order. Our first order of business is to call roll and review our norms. The secretary will now take roll.
Lord, can
Here. Miss-
Let me try to unmute you, Miss Drew. I see you saying you cannot unmute. Miss Drew, are you unmuted now? Because you don't look muted.
Ms. Jacoby, I see you here. In this situation, would it be all right for another member to call roll and take quorum?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. All right. In that case, give me 1 second and I can take care of that. Just bear with me for 1 moment.
Ms. Drew, on my end, you're not muted. It says I can mute you. Now I'm gonna try to unmute again. Can you try to unmute again also, Ms. Drew? Okay, it's just unmuted you. And now you don't have a line through your microphone anymore. I do apologize. I don't know what's going on.
Ms. Drew, could you give us a little test or mic check just to see? Yes, so, okay, yeah, we're still not able to hear you. Ms.
Yeah,
Drew,
and her microphone is off. I'm looking at the participants and her camera is off, but her microphone is on.
that's okay. Ms. Drew, you can direct message me the scripting and I'll read it as it comes in and then I'll do the roll call. So you can just direct message me that and I'll go through that process. Okay, I'll go ahead and take roll. If you hear your name here, please say present. Shante Blackwell.
Present.
Carmen Tomlin. Ariana Muhammad. Satu Garrett. Stacy Walker. Melvia Holmes.
Here.
Kelsey Drew. We know she's present. Richard Harris. Walter Poole.
Present.
And Miguel Taberkia present. This team will only be able to take official action if a quorum is present. Ms. Drew, is there a quorum present? You can just message me that and I'll move forward. Okay. Let's see here. We do not have a quorum present. A quorum is the minimum number of members who must be present at a meeting to transact business. We needed a majority of Go Team members in attendance to vote on the agenda items. Having a quorum protects the school by preventing a very small number of members from taking action on behalf of the entire school. I do know that had confirmation from Ms. Walker and from Satu that they would be here.
I'm calling Mia Garrett now. She'll get them on.
Thank you so much. All right. Ms. Jacoby, would it be all right if we waited and then did roll call again and then check for the quorum one more time when those members come?
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your patience, team. I think I just heard your microphone. Are you back?
I was just gonna say quick test. Oh yes, I can see it's working. Yay, I'm
Awesome.
back.
Perfect.
Went in and changed some settings. Something got mixed up on my computer. Apologies for that. Thank you for covering us.
I'm gonna try to find Miss Walker as well. Give me a second.
I shot her an email, so thank you, Ms. Blackwell.
Thank you. Just talk to Miss Walker. She's getting ready to jump on.
Perfect. And I just saw Ms. Muhammad join, so we can we'll just roll it back. Our first order of business is to call roll and review our norms. The secretary will now take roll.
Please respond present if you are present. Ms. Blackwell. Ms. Tomlin. Ms. Muhammad.
Present.
Mr. Garrett. Ms. Walker. Ms. Holmes.
Here.
Ms. Drew, I am present. Mr. Harris. Mr. Poole.
Present.
And Mr. Tuberkia.
Present. Okay.
Thank you.
This team will only be able to take official action if a quorum is present. Ms. Drew, is there a quorum present?
We do have quorum.
Fantastic. Just to review our norms, this is a meeting of the GO team. Only members of the team may participate in the discussion. Any members of the public present are here to quietly observe. We invite and welcome contributions of every member and listen to each other. We will follow the agenda as noticed to the public and stay on task. We will respect all ideas and assume good intentions. Our first order of business is to approve the agenda. This was provided to you and copies are here. Are there any changes to the agenda? May I have a motion to approve the agenda?
I motion that we
Motion.
approve the agenda.
A second?
Second.
All in favor?
Second. Oh.
Thank you. All in favor, please say aye.
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 All opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions, please identify yourself or raise your hand. We will review and approve the meeting minutes from our last meeting. The minutes have been provided to you. Are there any corrections? If there are no further corrections, may I have a motion to approve the previous meeting's minutes?
I move that
Motion.
you approve the previous meeting's minutes.
Thank you. A second?
I second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions, please identify yourself or raise your hand. Thank you so much. So this is where we are in the budget process. Ms. Blackwell recently had the HR staffing conferences. That was our step 6. We are now at step 7. This is our budget finalization meeting. We're trying to get this done by March 13th. We're encouraged to have ongoing conversations and we will take action on the budget at these meetings. So during this meeting, we will review all components of the budget, which should be updated based on feedback from the cluster superintendent and key leaders. After review, the GO team will take action, i.e. vote on the fiscal year 27 budget. Principals will present the final budget recommendations for GO team approval. All approval meetings must be held after staffing conferences. Budget must be approved by March 13th. We will now move on to discussion items on our agenda. We'll move to our next item of business, the final budget recommendation presentation. Principal Blackwell, please share with us your final budget recommendations.
So there were changes made to the draft budget we discussed at our last meeting. However, the changes did not impact the change or impact or change allocation of funds. Changes are going to be detailed on the next slide. The only change that we did make was, remember, I did note we were trying to retain Mrs. Charles, and I was able to do so by combining a 0.5 EIP and a 0.5 Spanish to create her a teaching position for Mrs. Charles. So as you can see, the budget did not change. As far as the percentage that we're spending for instruction, for services for our students, improvement of instructional services, which still remains at 0. Educational media services, instructional staff training, school administration, maintenance and operations, school safety, security, and transportation. We had $90,000 to spend for school safety and security because we did not spend $45,000 last year, but we have already begun to spend that money on things like wheelchairs, stop the bleed kits. We're getting fencing done around the parking lot so that we can actually utilize it for parking for events and have cars secure. So we're still in the process of spending that safety and security grant money because we don't have 45,000, we actually have 90,000. That money goes away next year, so we're having to try to spend it up, as much of it this year. And as you can see, it's still 74% of the funding going towards instruction, as I just stated, with 9% for services and 10% for school administration. So the bulk of it, as you can see, is going towards instruction, which is what we want to see. So now it's time for discussions and questions.
Just to guide our conversations, sorry, I may have been muted there. Just some things we want to think about, and I'll leave the floor open for discussion. Does the budget proposal support our school's strategic objectives and lead to achieving our goals? If new positions, resources, or programs are being added, what data or feedback supports these changes? What trade-offs are being made in this budget? Are any current programs or resources being adjusted or reduced? How will that impact our students? If we are sharing staff positions, i.e. nurse, counselor, or teacher, how will this affect student support and service delivery at our school? I'll open the floor now if there's any questions or comments. I know we didn't make much of a change, but I want to make sure that everyone's thoughts are heard before we move on to approval.
I had one question just about retaining Ms. Charles. Did I see that it would be a half-time position?
No, that is just how I was able to retain her. I haven't decided, we haven't decided what that position will look like, or where Ms. Charles will be. That will be based on the data that we get at the end of this year.
Got it. Thank you.
But with the data, if anything, she will be retained, correct?
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am.
All right. Cool beans.
So you had combined 2 halftime positions in order to create that position for her, is what I saw.
Yes, ma'am. I had to move some funds from one other area so Mr. Godfrey has a position like that. He is part-time EIP and part-time gifted. And so you have to use him. So I use him Most days he has gifted kids 1 day a week, and then for 4 days and that is a model. And then for 4 days he supports EIP. So, but because Spanish is not a requirement, it has to be an EIP position. However, we can use it as we see fit based on the data. So that position can be a reading lab. It could be a math lab. We just haven't decided. That decision will be based on when we get the milestone and map data back for the end of the year, what the best need is for that position.
All right, great discussion, team. I'm just want to open up the floor one more time before I move on. Okay, thank you, Principal Blackwell, for sharing this information. So just as we see here, our next step, the GO team needs to take action, i.e. vote on the budget. After the motion and second, we may have additional discussion, and once the discussion is concluded, we will vote. Once again, thank you, Principal Blackwell, for sharing this information. I will now entertain a motion to approve this budget. A second.
I move that we approve this budget.
All in favor, please say aye.
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 All opposed, please say nay. Any abstention? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I thought I heard something. Any abstentions, please identify yourself or raise your hand. Okay, the motion passes. Thank you so much, team.
Mr. Taberkio,
Yes, sir.
who seconded the motion?
I believe that was Ms. Holmes.
Okay.
No, Ms. Holmes did the motion.
Well, I entertained the motion and asked for the second, and then that was your response. But either way, I think we're good to go. Thank
Okay.
you. Very cool.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, just want to
Alright.
make sure it's heard on the recording, that's all.
Good call. Thank you so much, Reverend Poole.
All right.
All right, we will now move on to information items. First is the principal's report.
I don't have anything at this time to report.
Thank you, Principal Blackwell. We will now hear a report from our last CAT meeting. Yes, Ms. Jacoby.
I'm sorry, Principal Blackwell, could you speak to your team a little bit about the math curriculum? Because we learned earlier this week, I think you had to make a choice for the elementary school level.
Yes, we chose HMH math. We had to choose between Eureka and HMH math. And when we looked at HMH, it was more aligned to the standards. Now, let's note that HMH or whatever resource that we select, it is just that, a resource, because we will continue to utilize the Georgia the Georgia the Godot, the Georgia Department of Education's math learning plans as our main curriculum, which support the standards and is created by the state. However, we wanted a supplemental resource that was standard-based and that reflected the new standards. So we will be rolling out, or we have adopted or selected HMH as our choice for our school.
Thank you so much, Principal Blackwell. We will now hear a report from the last CAT meeting. Could the principal or cluster representative please share the information from last month's meeting? I believe our representative is Satu.
Yes. I did not go to the meeting yesterday, so I wasn't able to attend the last meeting.
That's all right. Thank you so much for your input. Okay, and now we're going to move on. Yes, Ms. Jacoby.
I'm sorry, if I may, I'm not sure if Principal Blackwell was there last night.
No, but I did talk with Taryn. I know that we looked at the strategic plans per cluster, and there was some discussions about the strategic plan for our cluster and what we saw as a common goal. And Ms. Jacoby, you can jump in to start developing, what is that, a cluster plan?
Yeah, kind of the cluster plan and what the team feels is are the priorities. Principal Blackwell, can you give me sharing rights and I can kind of share the key slides so that your team
Yes,
can kind
yes,
of have that?
ma'am. My pleasure, Ms. Jacoby. Let's see. Do you know how to request sharing rights? Because that's what Mr. Taberkia does. I'm sorry. Let's see
Let's
if I
see
can.
here. I will try. There we go. Am I sharing?
Yep, Ms.
All right.
Jacoby has started sharing her screen. There you go.
All right, thank you all. So just really quickly, we're going to be sending out an update with all of the links, including the recording. But Dr. Danzer, who is the district's chief of operations and facilities, was talking about what the master plan for facilities and use of eSPLOS dollars are. If you don't know, eSPLOS is an education special purpose local option sales tax. It's a 1% tax on all purchases that goes to schools for capital improvements. These are things. You cannot use SPLOST for people, for teachers, for consumables. So while you can use SPLOST for things like while you can use SPLOST for things like school buses, you cannot use it for gasoline. You can build the building, but you can't buy cleaning supplies for it, that kind of thing. So what the district is doing is they've done an assessment of all of the sites about what's needed, what's not, and they want to find out from the community what they think. There we go, eSPLOS. So we're coming to the end of 2022. This is where we are in this roadmap, where they're getting the recommendations between now and March, engaging the community, including our Go teams. Between March and April, they're going to give a proposal to the board. And then the vote will come up in November. So this is one of those situations where they actually have to have, as part of the ballot initiative, the ballot question, what they want to spend money on. So this is why your voice is so important. The conversation focused around what capital improvement projects do you think have the greatest impact on our students and why? And then the second question is, out of the following 6 program areas, prioritize your top 3 areas. So facilities and infrastructure, technology, transportation, safety and security, athletics. So that would be the fields, not the equipment as much as the locations and the supports around it, or nutrition. Dr. Danzer did point out that nutrition, because we've brought it in-house, there is a need there that was not there when we were contracting the services. And then as we look ahead to 2032, which is when this next SPLOST would end, what are 1 or 2 capital projects that would make you feel eSPLOST was a success? So these are kind of the 3 questions that they asked for in the CAP meeting for teams to discuss. So if you all have any input or discussion, and then we'll send to the officers the link where they can record and put your team's ideas. Any questions? Y'all have any comments on it?
And so you're saying that our CAT representative will be given that information to for us to give our feedback on?
The CAT representative would be given the link. Since you all are here in a meeting, it would probably be good for y'all to talk about it. I apologize, I don't have your CAT representative up in front of me at the moment, so I don't know if I don't know who it is, and I also don't know if they were there, because there was almost 100 people on that call last night. So
Gotcha. Thank you so much, Mr. Jacoby. Does anyone have any thoughts that they want to share before we proceed?
So I know one of the concerns that came up in the last Go Team meeting was athletics. And that's something that we, as elementary schools, we don't get a lot of funding for. I know in other districts that I've worked in, they have an elementary athletic program. So I just wanted to throw that out as my opinion, of something that we can add, since we know that that's something we want to invest in as well, that could be definitely one of our priorities.
I agree. Okay, if there's no more additions, we'll go ahead and move on to the committee reports. We do have a uniform committee update. Just wanted to make sure if, can everyone see my screen as I pull up some survey information results? Can everybody see my screen?
Yes. Or I
Perfect.
can't see it.
Yes.
So I'll just real quickly go through. So we have 28 responses, as you can, go ahead. Okay, so we had 27 parents respond. On number 2 here, we can see that a majority of our answers came between first and second and third and fourth. If we look down at question number 3, do we believe the policy should be implemented? Majority, 71% here of respondents said yes, that it should be implemented, which was in line with our thinking as the Go team. Some of the latest responses just here, but once again, we're still on that train of the majority of response, saying that they want the uniforms. If we look at number 5 for the options, 50% are saying color-based uniforms, which is again in line with what we're having here. On number 6, it talks about what colors should be chosen. 79% said a combination of yellow, blue, and white, which, once again, Perkerson colors is what we've been doing for a while now, so it kind of fits with what we have in stock. And then going down to number 8, 82% of respondents said that ease and comfort is the most important, to for the child. If we're looking at number 9, kind of even spread throughout here on the clothing items between t-shirts, elastic width pants, skirts or skirts, sweaters, hoodies, and closed-toed sneakers. Number 10, 100% of people said that there should be uniform flexibility, shorts in warm weather or layers in the cold. If we look at number 11, 89% of respondents said that the uniform policy would simplify mornings for the family. A majority, 79%, said that it would not create a financial burden for the household, which was one of the points of discussion when we initially brought this up. 71% said that we should include uniform assistance programs, which again, in line with what we were discussing when we initially rolled this out as a team. And then kind of an even spread here on what respondents believe that the uniforms would help with, reducing clothing-related distractions, encouraging equality, improving school pride, and safety and student identification. And then number 15, should students be allowed special non-uniform days? 61% said yes, monthly, which I think is very feasible here. And we'll just move down through here and our last page. And I think that is just about there on our answers. So everything very much in line with what we were considering doing. 1 second here. Ms. Mohammed, is there, first I want to say great job with the surveys. I see it posted at the front of the school. I see it in the front office, so we're getting a lot of eyes on it. Is there
Yes.
anything that you want to share as the chair of this committee?
From the looks of it, we're getting good feedback. I do see that a lot of parents is well going along with how we felt about it from the beginning. But my question will be, if once we implement this, is it will there be a way that, let's say, the non-parents that don't want to participate, like I did see a comment stating, oh, well, my child is first day self through clothing. Let's just say we implement this. How are we? I get the fact you don't punish kids based off what their parents buy, but how would that affect everyone else? Because to me, how I look at it, once everybody else starts seeing, well, they're not in uniform, how does that kind of coincide with what we're trying to put out?
And so your question is, when we do roll it out how will we deal with situations where with students who aren't necessarily in dress code? Is that the question?
Correct.
Well, like you're saying, I think it really does depend on what we know about the students.
Mm.
I know for the most part, we have a stockpile of certain school appropriate clothing for the students to wear. So I don't think it would be too much of an issue, but with enough preparation, we are going to be able to let the parents be aware that this is happening, let them know that, it has been official as the Go team will making this decision once we get all the survey information. And I think that should help mediate the problem, just making sure we're being communicative with our parents and scholars so that they're prepared. And I don't think we'll have too many issues once we bring that up. But that's a great question.
Let me also say, Ms. Jacoby, you can, tell me or correct me if I am wrong. Because we did not vote as a Go team previously if we should be a uniform school or not, we really could not enforce it the way we wanted to. But now that we, as a Go team, are taking the necessary steps to say, hey, yes, we want to be a uniform school, or no, we do not want to be a uniform school, then we can begin to enforce the policy more. But before, because we as a Go team had not voted or decided that that's something that we would like to do, then we could not. In fact, we were supposed to take down all things pertaining to uniforms because we had not voted on it as a Go team. But now that the Go team is saying that this is something that needs to happen, then we can enforce it a little bit more.
So, yes, Principal Blackwell, you are correct in that because the Go team didn't finish the process, you couldn't advertise any uniforms. But just to be very clear, the district policy states that students may not be disciplined or lose class time, instructional time, just because they aren't wearing a uniform. A uniform is always optional. So if you have, if there's a family that does not want their children to wear a uniform, or if a child decides not to wear a uniform one day, that that the uniform is optional, and so long as what the child is wearing meets with the district's general policy, nothing inappropriate in terms of writing on shirts, that they are covered appropriately, that they're wearing closed-toed and shoes with a heel. And I can get you the policy, but as long as they fit that, then that's the requirement. Anything above that is optional. And schools, if they want to have a uniform, the Go team did have to vote to be able to say, hey, this is our preference. Does that help, Principal Blackwell?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Jacoby.
All right. Any more questions or comments on the uniform committee before we proceed? Okay. When I open it up to some announcements, as a reminder, the Go Team declarations have been extended for a few more days now until March 8th. Ms. Drew and I sent out an email to the staff just, to make sure that information is out there. I also sent it to the Go Team as well. Just a reminder, we are going to fill 2 parent and guardian seats, 2 instructional staff seats. There's a QR code right there. There is a quick little application where you have to answer questions about your vision for the school, your role in the community, things of that nature. Just right here, just some things coming up from the school. On March 11th, it will be our Spring Picture Day. On March 16th, it's going to be an early release day. And then March 19th is our Black History Month program. Does anyone have any other announcements that they want to add on before we proceed?
Mr. Taberky, I had a question in regards to the Go Team declarations.
Yes, sir.
So for someone like myself, like I was declared last year, do I have to declare again this year?
Ms. Jacoby, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that it's sort of a process you do every year, regardless of if you've already filled it out last year. Is that correct, Ms. Jacoby?
No, sir. When people run for Go Team seats, those seats have 2-year terms. So Mr. Garrett ran for a term that began in 2025. So his seat goes until June 30th of 2027. So Mr. Garrett, you are on the team until that time. And we have what's called staggered terms because we don't want the entire team turning over in any given year. So we have 2 parents and 2 staff members who will be rolling off because their 2-year term for the seat started in 2024 and ends in June of 2026. Does that help answer your question, Mr. Garrett?
Yes, that does. Okay, because that's what that was my understanding, that it was a 2-year seat, but I wasn't sure if I needed to make annual declaration.
No, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you for clarifying that, Ms. Jacoby. We appreciate you having you here. Okay, we have reached the end of our agenda. Is there any additional business at this time? May I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I move that we adjourn the meeting.
A second?
I second.
A second.
All in favor, please say aye.
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 Aye. All opposed, please say nay or raise your hand. Any abstentions, please identify yourself or raise your hand. The meeting is adjourned. Thank you so much, team. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Have a good evening, everybody.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much.